Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bunny Cakes and welcome to my channel for the first time if you're new here. Today I'm just going to be filming a bit of a life update. Things have been happening, not all of them great. I just want to talk about it since I've not been posting very much and explain why. So, I've not been feeling very good lately. And, I talk about my depression, my PTSD, and all of that, and for the most part, it's definitely not the PTSD. There is some depression that's been mixed into this. More than anything else, though, I realize that the insomnia that I joke about all of the time has been much more significant of a problem than I've been realizing. To the extent that I was checking my sleep tracker app, and in the last 2 months, I haven't been getting, I've gotten 6 hours of sleep like 3 or 4 times. And most of the time, I get close to 6 hours, but I sleep in naps because that's all my body is willing to let me do these days. And while I do function for the most part pretty well on low sleep, it has been taking its toll on both my mental and my physical health. So I think some of it's related to stress. The whole planet is stressful these days, and that sort of thing. But also, like, this whole time since COVID started, I've been without my therapist. My therapist that I had been seeing up until May, she had to leave her job because the company that I get my therapy through made her make an impossible choice, and she found another job in the same field that let her protect her family, which I totally get. And I told her before she told me she was leaving that I expected that that's what she would do. So it's not on her. The company that I get my therapy through flubbed things really hard. They left me as being under my original therapist's care for over a month, so they never bothered to set me up with a new therapist because in their system I had one. So finally I called in and I pushed to see what was going on because I work a very high stress job, so beyond my regular mental health BS, I'm getting a lot of flack and stress just from the customers I deal with because everybody's stressed out right now. I work customer service, and I do tech support and billing, and the customers have just been absolutely obnoxious. And when you spend the better part of 8 hours a day getting yelled at because people can't babysit their kids, so they give them their iPad, and then the kid spends all their money on Fortnite, and now it's my fault, it takes a toll. So I was pushing to get a new therapist. I finally got one, and he was supposed to call me before our initial appointment, and he never did. And then on the day of the appointment, he was 3 hours late to call me because I do telehealth because I'm not trying to go out in the plague times right now. He was 3 hours late. And the secretary at the place that I get my therapy, I love her. She's the entire reason that I even started going to therapy at that place to begin with. When I had been calling her to try to figure out what was going on, I thought my appointment was at 11 that morning. So at 11:30 I called, and she goes in and checks her email, and he had said that he was going to be late, but at the time he said he was late, he should have already called me 45 minutes to an hour before. So she said she'd check on it, and then she'd call me back. Well, I waited another hour, and I called back, because she didn't So I was trying to get an update. He told her that he had already called me. Then she apparently reached out to him. Finally, he did call me about 40 minutes after that. And when I told him that I was frustrated because, as far as he knew, I worked that day. When I told him I was frustrated, he just kind of blew it off. He didn't want to talk about it. And he blamed it on the secretary for not telling me. So I already had a bad taste in my mouth for this man. And he was both flippant and overbearing. Like, he was trying to fix things that didn't need fixing, and he wasn't listening to concerns I felt needed to be addressed. So he cut my appointment short without warning. And one of the reasons that I love the secretary at the place that I go, not 5 minutes after we finished speaking, she called me again to check and see if he had bothered to call me. And I told her he did. And I was trying to give the benefit of the doubt. Because I do. That's what I do. I agreed to see him again. And in between doing that and the next appointment, I was talking to a friend of mine that was also apparently supposed to be seeing this man, but it hasn't yet, and it's been months. So I said, alright, I'm still going to give him this one more chance just because I don't feel like dealing with it right now. So we get to my next appointment 2 weeks later. I get up, I get ready. I keep my appointments early in the morning because I sleep on a reverse schedule for most people. I work 2:30 to 11 on the days that I work, and I function better if I wake up right before I work, and then I just keep it moving that way. It's how my insomnia works. I work better on an opposite sleep schedule for most people. So if my appointment is at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, I'm staying up very late for me. And so my appointment was at 9 the next time. I get up, and because I took a nap so that I could function for therapy. So I get up, I get everything ready and everything, and about 10 minutes after my appointment was supposed to start, I'm getting ready to call the secretary. I keep almost saying her name and I'm trying not to. And pardon my train. So I'm getting ready to call when I get an email from this guy 10 minutes after my appointment. And something came up, and he's not going to be able to make my appointment. So, I was just done. Absolutely done. I was absolutely livid, and I don't know why. Because I knew that it was going to happen. I knew that it wasn't going to work out. And I guess I think I was more irritated at myself for giving someone I knew didn't deserve a chance. But I immediately called after I got the email, and I told the secretary that I wanted a new therapist. And then I was like, good Lord, it's been like 2.5, almost 3 months since I've actually had a therapy session. And of course, I'm not going to get anything super beneficial out of my therapy for a couple of weeks anyway, because I'm meeting this new person, and I've just had this bad experience, so I don't particularly trust anybody right now. And so I was like, I don't know how much longer it's going to be. And so I said, well, whatever, I'll call. That was on a Thursday. I said, I'll call the next Thursday, give him a week, and see what's going on. Well, cool things happened. That Wednesday, I got called by my new therapist, and we set up an appointment for the next day because I'm off on Thursdays, and had a good experience with her. That's great. I think this is going to work out. But I've literally only had one session with this girl. That being said, I like her. of course, some of the background stress I was realizing is that I'm trying to switch positions in my job, which puts, and the position I'm looking at trying to get into messes with my hours. It's going to put me back on daytime hours during all of the hours that one typically has appointments and that sort of thing. The new therapist put me at ease for her because she said, we're doing telehealth anyway, and I can meet you where you are. And I was like, awesome. That soothed my worries for that. My chiropractor appointments, I should be able to arrange that too. So then the only appointments that I'll have to really work around are like my regular medical appointments, which shouldn't be that big of a deal, because it's not like I'm going to regular medical appointments like 2 or 3 times a week. So that stress was at least a little bit alleviated. I mean, there's the stress of trying to interview for a job when I haven't slept more than a couple of hours at a time in 2 or 3 months, and that's just what I can count, because my sleep tracker only goes back so far. But the stress and the lack of sleep has also affected my mental health, or not my mental health, my physical health. I don't know if I've ever talked about it on this channel, but I have a bulging disc in my back, and my sciatic nerve gets pinched occasionally, both on the left side and the right side for fun. Most people only have to deal with it on one side or the other. Mine likes to switch it up for flavor. So with all of the mental stress and everything that's going on, my back has started to twinge, and the last couple of days it got pretty bad. And it hasn't helped that I haven't been able to go to the chiropractor regularly because of the virus. So the first couple of months, the chiropractor was just, and most places were completely shut down. And that was like a couple weeks after I'd started seeing this new guy. We had just got to the point where it was actually helping, and then of course the virus happened and I couldn't see him anymore. And then everything opened back up a little bit and I could start seeing him again. Of course, with all the masks and the gloves and the Lysol and the hand sanitizer, and a bit of a germaphobe over here. And then just a couple weeks ago, some mask refusing type came in to the office and shut the office down for another month. And so I'm just getting back in to see the chiropractor for I think I've been back once. That was Thursday. Yeah, that was my first time. And I felt the nerve starting to twinge and pinch. I was hoping that that going to the chiropractor would help. And it did a little bit, and then it didn't. So the last couple of days, I've been in a significant amount of pain. Like, not the worst pain I've ever felt, because the worst pain I ever felt was when my nerve pinched severely for the very first time and I couldn't walk for 6 months. Not a good time. I have thankfully never been back to that level of pain. Now, I have a very, very high pain tolerance. So, like, anyone that knows me will tell you they have seen me fall in ways that should have physically broken me, and I just pop back up like the Terminator. Well, maybe not like the Terminator, sometimes it's slower. Like the most recent fall I had, where I fell off the bed while cleaning my bookshelves, and I landed from about 3 feet up on my knee and front area. My fiance thought I was dead until I started moving, and I just got back up and I finished my task, and I succumbed to some pain later. But I have a really high pain tolerance, so anytime that I say I'm hurting, it means that the pain is near intolerable, because I don't ask for help. I will pop some Tylenol and keep it moving, if I can. until something becomes significantly inconvenient for me. So the physical pain has been a lot lately. Now I know a lot of people, they think chiropractors are quacks, and I mean, yeah, a lot of them are. I do find some pain relief in chiropractic care. That's why I go. And I ended up going because at one point my nerve pain got so bad and my intolerance to pain medication became such a problem that I knew where a chicken was. I just needed to find a witch doctor. So I was ready to buy whatever snake oil would make the pain go away. And for me, at least for right now, the chiropractor helped significantly. And whether it's a placebo or not, it's working. And it's not causing any more damage for me at this point, so I'm going to keep it going. I think chiropractic care is something that should be very personal to you. I'm not recommending people go get chiropractic care, and I also believe that it's one of those situations where you do need to consult your medical doctor first, because there are many back issues that can be exacerbated by chiropractic care. So don't take this as me as blanket statement chiropractic care, because no, that's not true. Sometimes it can hurt you more than it helps. In my situation, it helps, so I'm gonna keep doing it. So yeah, I'm working on trying to get back my relationship with sleep. It's messed with my reading, it's messed with my mental health and my physical health. So that's part of why I haven't been posting a lot of videos, because the motivation is just not there. Or I have motivation, but the timing's not right. Or something like that. Or, I just, after I've been exhausted all day from people yelling at me over things I can't change, I'm just very, very tired, and I would like to sleep, and I do for a couple of hours, but then when I'm awake, I just don't have the energy to do stuff, just set up everything and all of that. As you can see, I didn't even bother trying to look less than dead today. I did put on a clean shirt and brush my hair, so you're welcome. And don't get me wrong, I like my job. I get to meet all sorts of interesting people. I actually met a fellow YouTuber recently, and I bought his book. He seems like a really cool guy. His name is Larry Lawton. I'll link down to his channel below if I remember. Really cool guy. I have met several YouTubers in my job. There was a drag queen, and forgive me, I cannot remember your name. Isham, I think. Anyway, so I've met a lot of really cool people, and even the people who aren't like on YouTube. I've met some really fun and interesting people, some really nice people, nice older people, nice younger people. I've met a couple of authors, that sort of thing. I do like my job for the most part. It's just the last couple of months it's been very, very stressful. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you have to call customer service, be nice to us, because there's a 98% chance that the person we just got off the phone with spent an hour and a half screaming at us over stuff we don't have control over. And also, fun fact, the nicer you are, the more quickly and more likely we are to be able to help you. Now, we don't have magic wands, so there are limitations, but just be nice to people who are in customer service positions, whether they're in person or not, because I am so tired of getting yelled at. Also, use parental controls on your devices if you're going to hand them to your children with your credit cards on them. Please and thank you. But yeah, I know that I will have a video up on Thursday, because I am part of another book tour that was organized by Eric over at Break Even Books. Still need to finish that book. And other than that, I'm not quite sure when my next video is going to be. I have so many ideas that I want to do. I don't have the energy to do it right now. And I just kind of wanted to make this video so that you guys knew I didn't leave unexpectedly again, but also it's part of why I left unexpectedly back in June, because it wasn't the start, it was actually like just in the thick of it, and I'm still in the thick of it. I just recognize it more now, so I am working on getting my sleep back in order. I'm trying to see if I can handle it myself, or if I need to bring my doctor in on the problem, and get it sorted that way. But yeah, I feel like it's important to share our mental health struggles, especially these days, because we're all going through it, and we need to know we're not alone. So if you guys are struggling, know that so am I, and that's okay. We just gotta work on trying to get it back together and find that calm, zen, mellow center, which is probably hanging out with my former friend's sleep. I'm going to try to do that now. So thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you back soon, and you have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.